Are you tired of how EA and 2K have monopolized the sports video game industry to the point that there is barely any competition at all? Are you tired on how repetitive some of these board games are? It's the same game, just slapped with a new number. Are you tired with how literally sports games have become a microtransaction hell, and they have added literally casino mechanics? And by any chance, are you a fan of those wacky Japanese cartoons? Well, if you answer yes to all of these questions, then I got the product for you. Captain Tsubasa: Rise of New Champions, based on the famous Captain Tsubasa franchise, which is getting a game described as a mix of arcade football game, and let me tell you what an amazing product it is. It makes you feel like you're watching the anime, it is fun to play, and if you play a football game, you will feel right at home. And the best thing, no microtransactions, and the game doesn't include a casino. Why are you waiting to get this game? What's up guys, it's Oblivouz Gamer, and today I will give you guys my impressions on Captain Tsubasa: Rise of New Champions after playing the game for hours, and I have to say I love this game. It literally lived up to my expectations. It blew them away, to be honest. I came a little concerned with this game because I want this game to succeed, as I mentioned in my previous video. I was scared that it was going to be crappy, or play badly, or have issues that could cause the game to be a letdown, but let me tell you, I'm happy it wasn't. This game came out to be a fantastic, fun game that knows how to mix and balance well the anime style, action, or moments, and it being a football game. The game developed by Tamsoft and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment, coming out for Windows or PC, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch on August 28th. So when you start the game, you'll have a couple of options. First will be Dramatic Story, which is divided into two sub-modes. Episode Tsubasa, allowing players to experience the original storyline, and Episode New Hero, allowing players to create their own character, level up in a fashion similar to the FIFA series Player Career Mode. In New Hero, players can choose to represent Furano Middle School, Toho Academy, or Musashi Middle School. In Episode Tsubasa, you will be reliving some of the moments from the story and see Tsubasa take other schools with incredible players like Kojiro Hyuga, Ken, Wakashimasu, and many more. You will also be able to take on and participate in the World Championship and take on other countries' team. Overall, the story mode is very friendly towards people who have never experienced the story of Captain Tsubasa. And at the same time, it's not daunting or annoying for people like me who have experienced the story before. It has a nice balance, since there are some movies called memories, and you can unlock them as you progress with them telling the story of a specific character or moment. So if you are a veteran of the series, you are not forced to watch them. And if you're new to the franchise, you can watch them and learn about Captain Tsubasa's characters and its world. Really appreciate, since I am familiar with most of the beginning of the franchise, right up until Tsubasa moving to Europe to play. The cutscenes with dialogue have some nice in-game animations, which look really nice, and for the cutscenes they have some stills. They are hand-drawn, which I would have preferred if instead of being still images, they would have animated them, but it still looks nice. During matches, you will also get some nice cutscenes that look really great when they happen, so it's overall a really nice addition and mode. In Episode New Hero, you will create a character and you will be a protagonist. Your character will be able to get better by deepening the connections with other players through matches, and be able to learn new skills. When Episode New Hero ends, the stats and skills for the characters become finalized, and the character can be used in custom teams and in versus mode. Character creations is decently nice. There's a lot of options for you to try and create a nice unique looking character in the game. I was surprised with the amount of options there is. Granted, not much to edit them, but I won't complain. There is enough to choose from and create a character you really like. There's also a big focus, like I mentioned, of deepening your friendships with up to 5 characters. And through that, you will learn new techniques and skills. There's also bonus challenges during matches to help rise your character's stats. Overall, I think it's a nice and very fun addition for the game that has substance. Then the next mode is Ultimate Team Edit, where you can edit players, different skills, create your own dream team, and it has the PP shop, where you will be able to buy different stuff ranging from new shirts, hair, to shoes. You can also buy card packs in the store with in-game currency. You can get training items and friend cards to help your create character in New Hero mode with those card packs. Versus has 3 options: single match, penalty shootout, and championship. Then online, you're put in a league, and obviously you will try to rank up. So far, I haven't had much issues with the matches online. However, I have encountered some funny glitches, but that's it. Also, division matches, there's a max total cost that should not be exceeded to participate. I think it is a nice way to balance the matches. They also have a system where until you reach Silver League, you have a chance to be matched with bots, which I feel for those starting and learning the game, it's good, especially during the Rookie League where you will start being matched with bots, until you reach Silver where all matches will only be players. Now, gameplay overall. If you have played any football game before, you will feel right at home. Granted, of course, the game is sprinkled with anime. So to start, all players have what is called a spirit gauge. Now, the spirit gauge is kind of like a stamina gauge. So whenever you're dashing, the spirit gauge will be consumed. Also, certain moves will use the spirit gauge, such as dribbling around an opponent or shooting the ball. Now, as you can see, it drains very quickly. However, the spirit gauge recovers by itself over time. The only player that the spirit gauge works differently is the goalkeeper, who every time someone shoots at the goal and the goalkeeper needs to stop the ball, his spirit gauge will be drained. It won't recover automatically. The only time it will recover is after halftime or once a goal has been scored. So your job is to try to drain the goalkeeper's spirit gauge to be able to score. However, a thing to note is you can still find ways to score even if the goalkeeper has his spirit gauge. So don't rely on thinking that as long as your goalkeeper has a spirit gauge, no goals will be scored. One thing to note about the spirit gauge is that trying to dribble or get past an opponent is important, because when you do it for a second time, you will get a cool animation, and not just that, but your spirit gauge will recover and there will be some stats bonuses. So looking to dribble around your opponent sometimes and get that stat boost, and recovering sometimes can be viable, since the spirit gauge can drain quickly when you're dashing to attack, and after the spirit gauge is drained a certain amount, you can't do those special shots with animations. Usually when you charge to shoot the ball, a bar will be charging. Some characters will have a special animation that will happen when they shoot the ball once the bar is charged. Usually those types of shots can drain the goalkeeper's spirit gauge quite a bit. However, of course, not every character has the ability to do that. However, you can still shoot the ball as in any normal football game and still score. In this game, you can get the ball defensively with some options. The most common two would be to tackle with R1 or to slide tackle with R2 or circle. Now, there are ways to overcome being tackled or slide tackled. Now comes the dash dribble and the dribble move. However, you will need to choose well because each one can be beaten. So when you're dash dribbling, you press R1 and sprint. Now, this maneuver will let you get around opponents who slide tackle you or press R2. However, if the opponent sprints into you by pressing R1 while you're doing the same, they will take the ball. So R1 beats the opponent pressing R2, but loses to the opponent pressing R1. The same logic can be applied to the dribble move or R2. So if an opponent is coming to you pressing R1 and you press R2 or do the dribble move, you will get around them. But if the opponent comes at you pressing R2 or slide tackling while you're pressing R2 or doing a dribble move, your opponent will take the ball. So in summary, R2 beats R1 against opponent but loses to R2 from opponent. It's an interesting mechanic that makes the matches fun, and you trying to pay attention to what the opponent is doing and trying to get that stat boost to help you out. There's another mechanic called V-Zone. When the bar in the bottom is full, you can activate it and the spirit gauge from the entire team will fill much quicker. There's also a bunch of different mechanics such as clashes in the air, having specific characters being near a charge shot to block them, doing team moves or shots. There's a lot here and it can be extremely fun. Now, I do have some issues, but I feel it's just nitpicking. At first, until you get used to the movement and how to play, matches could end up being literally a slugfest, with tackles going constantly everywhere, which I understand for some, it can be unappealing and not fun, but I do feel once you get used to how the game plays, it doesn't happen as much. Then another thing is, I wish there were more options when it comes to dribbling the ball. I would love to have more control of it than what we currently have, since it just feels that there isn't as many options to control the ball and do specific maneuvers, specifically if you compare to other football games. Finally, some characters look weird, or like some don't have enough expressions. As an example, a lot of times Wakabayashi manages to stop the goal, the animation looks cool, but he keeps doing the same facial expression with his mouth. That to me at some point just feels he has one giant teeth, because there's no line dividing his teeth. Granted, this is again very nitpicking when it comes to complaints. I don't feel this would take anything away from someone enjoying the game. Overall, I think this is an amazing game and I can recommend this game to anyone. It's literally 2 thumbs up for me. The game came out on PS4, Switch, and PC. One thing to note is it seems the PC version is having problems, as I have read some reviews on Steam. I only have played the PS4 version and now encounter any big problems. So for those with PC, I would recommend waiting until some of the problems get patched. So yeah guys, this is an amazing game and you guys should definitely give it a try. This has been Oblivious Gamer and I hope you'll have a wonderful day or night wherever you are.